Cholesterol forms bile salts necessary for proper fat digestion and absorption. Cholesterol forms a protective layer in the skin that prevents excessive water loss and invasion of foreign substances. Cholesterol is also a building block for steroid hormones. So cholesterol is pretty important if you can't tell already. We're going to talk about fat. Look at all that fat on that chicken neck. So for fat, we're going to do a quick recap, why it's important, sources of fat, and essential fatty acids, or EFAs, lipids, what they are, different types, and more functions of fat, triglycerides, what they are and what they look like, EFAs continued, important roles, examples, sources, studies, and comparisons. Here are all the resources as always. Do you remember this when I work out? I'm done. So a quick recap on fat. Fat is important in the diet because it provides a concentrated, easily digested source of energy. Essential fatty acids are necessary to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. The accumulation of fat protects the skin, vital organs, and membranes surrounding the intestines. Fat also acts as an insulator and provides energy in times of need and storage in times of excess. Additionally, fat increases the caloric density and the palatability of food. Triglycerides. The two forms of fats are saturated and unsaturated. They are mostly made up of lipids. Simple lipids include triglycerides, which are the most common and the most important type of fat in the diet. Triglycerides can be saturated, monounsaturated, or polyunsaturated. EFAs, certain long-chain fatty acids, are required in the diet because cats cannot synthesize these fats. These are called essential fatty acids. Examples include linoleic, alpha-linolenic, gamma-linolenic, and arachidonic. EPA and DHA are listed as probably. Plant versus animal. Sources of fats include dairy, meat, fish, seed oils, and nuts. Animal fats contain a higher percentage of saturated fatty acids. Plant oils contain 80 to 90% unsaturated, except for palm, olive, and coconut, and animal fats contain 50 to 60% unsaturated. Lipids. Lipids are high-energy compounds that supply nutritional and functional requirements in mammals. Some lipids are solid at room temperature and are called fats. Lipids that are liquid at room temperature are called oils. Lipids in foods include triglycerides, phospholipids, cholesterol, cholestyl esters, and fat-soluble vitamins. Essential fatty acids, EFAs, are called essential because they are required in the diet. Cats cannot make these fatty acids from other nutrients. Simple lipids include triglycerides and the waxes. Triglycerides are the most common form of fat in the diet. Compound lipids are fatty acids linked to a non-lipid molecule. Lipoproteins are a type of compound lipid. And derived lipids are sterile compounds like cholesterol and fat-soluble vitamins. More functions of fat. Lipoproteins transport fat through the bloodstream. Cholesterol forms bile salts necessary for proper fat digestion and absorption. Cholesterol forms a protective layer in the skin that prevents excessive water loss and invasion of foreign substances. Cholesterol is also a building block for steroid hormones. So cholesterol is pretty important if you can't tell already. That nice fatty chicken wing. Triglycerides. They are divided into short, medium, and long chains based on the number of carbon atoms in the fatty acid chain. Saturated equals no double bonds. Saturated fatty acids are used primarily for energy. Unsaturated fatty acids are found in cell membranes and blood lipoproteins. Monounsaturated equals one or more double bonds. Polyunsaturated equals more than one double bond. PUFA is what they call it for short, are called omega-3, omega-6, or omega-9 fatty acids based on the location of the first double bond. So the numbers next to the names on the right over here explain the number of carbons, the number of double bonds, and the location of the first double bond. So this first example, we have saturated palmitic acid. There's 16 carbons and 0 double bonds. This is highest in butter and lard. So for monounsaturated, we have oleic acid, which has 18 carbons, 1 double bond, and the double bond is at number 9. And this is highest in olive oil and lard. For the PUFAs, we have linoleic acid, 18 carbons, 2 double bonds, and the first double bond is located at 6. This is highest in sunflower and corn oil, but also in chicken fat, lard, and tallow. Then we have alpha-linoleic acid, 18 carbons, 3 double bonds, and the first one is at number 3, highest in soybean and fish oil. Then arachidonic, we have 20 carbons, 4 double bonds, and the first double bond is at 6. This is highest in butter and tallow. Essential fatty acids. The 2 EFAs required are omega-6 and omega-3. They are required in the diet. The most important in the omega-6 family is linoleic acid, or LA, and the most important omega-3 is alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. Interestingly though, pet food labels indicate that both omega fatty acids are not recognized as an essential nutrient by AAFCO, which is seen on the right. But we will take a closer look at EFAs because they should be considered essential. For LA conversions, gamma-linolenic acid, GLA, and arachidonic acid can be made from LA. However, this may only apply to the doggos. Special requirement for cats, they have a special requirement for arachidonic acid because they cannot make adequate amounts of it, even when adequate linoleic acid is in the diet. ALA conversions. ALA can convert to eicosapentaenoic acid, or EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, or DHA. However, it is very limited, so dietary sources are ideal. Pathology of EFA deficiency. So this is a study, I'm just going to quote directly from the study. Cats fed an EFA deficient diet exhibited signs of deficiency: severe fatty degeneration of the liver, excessive fat in the kidneys, dystrophic mineralization of the adrenal glands, hyperkeratosis of the skin, so the skin becomes thicker than normal, and minor clinical pathologic changes were consistent with liver damage. Linoleic acid meets the EFA requirement for functions which depend on proper membrane structure. However, dietary arachidonic acid is required by the cat for functions which depend on EPA formation, such as reproduction and blood platelet aggregation. So that was one of their conclusions. This is another study with EFAs and osteoarthritis. Cats were fed either corn oil, which does not have EPA and DHA, and another group of cats were supplemented with fish oil, which is rich in EPA and DHA. The cats fed the fish oil revealed higher activity level, more walking up and down the stairs, less stiffness during gait, more interaction with the owner, and higher jumps in osteoarthritis cats. They concluded supplementation of long-chain omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids changes the owner's perception of some aspects of behavior and locomotion in cats with naturally occurring osteoarthritis. There's another study, however, that says that there could be potential adverse effects. In the study, they do acknowledge the benefits, where you can see benefits with neoplasia, dermatologic disease, hyperlipidemia, cardiovascular disease, renal disease, gastrointestinal disease, orthopedic disease. So they do address that there are benefits. Now they list the potential adverse effects: altered platelet function, GI issues, weight gain, nutrient excess, altered immune function, and nutrient-drug interactions. They also said that EFAs may also help neurologic diseases, asthma, and behavioral issues. The therapeutic effects of fish oil are discussed elsewhere. Adverse effects, if observed, are likely to be dose dependent. It is necessary to understand dosages of omega-3 fatty acids to understand how much fish oil to supplement or what dietary concentration to aim for when recommending omega-3 supplementation. So dosage matters. Fatty acid comparisons. All EFAs are used for energy and storage. Omega-3, especially DHA, is required for brain and retinal function. AA synthesizes steroid hormones, and both families contribute to cell membrane fluidity and skin health. So this is based on Animal Diet Formulator. Each ingredient is measured by 100 grams, and the nutrients are expressed as units per 1,000 kcal. So for ALA, we have chicken thigh, turkey thigh, and beef. This is one of the omega-3 fatty acids. So turkey thigh is the highest. Then for EPA, we have turkey thigh is the highest in this category, and for DHA as well. For the omega-6 family, for gamma-linoleic acid, that data isn't available, so we'll skip to linolenic acid. So for chicken and turkey thigh, substantially higher than beef, but this does exceed the maximum daily amount. So don't go crazy with chicken thigh and turkey thigh, but you will find that when you're formulating that, as you add ingredients, the balance changes, but just something to be mindful of. Beef is really low, and if it's a grass grazing cow, grass fed, grass finished, it's going to have less omega-6, whereas chicken and turkey, typically they're fed corn feed, soy feed, so it makes sense that they are higher in the omega-6 family. Then for arachidonic acid, we have the highest is chicken thigh. Important, remember, variety is key. Turkey and chicken thighs make great bases and fresh food toppers, but cats need much more than just EFAs. Another important note is that PUFAs are extremely unstable and oxidize quickly. So we'll discuss this in the future sections when we go deeper into ingredients. Also remember the study that proved that the dosage does matter. So don't go crazy adding fish oil just yet. We need to learn how to formulate to understand the proper balance. I just want to mention this now because I don't want you to go crazy adding fish oil to your cat's food. It's definitely a great addition, but proper amounts are necessary for proper balance. Up next, we'll talk about carbohydrates and fiber next. And just a reminder, we will discuss ingredients in future sections. Please post your questions in the comments so I can gather FAQ and answer them. Some things to prepare for now. Check the USDA food database to compare fat content and fatty acids among your cat's favorite foods. Continue the transition to better quality food. And of course, as always, my transition plans are at caticles.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.